Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tanya and You, Chapter 9, Part 2, second half of Chapter 9. Chaim, Chaim. Okay, so we started discussing Chapter 9, talking about the lead up to understanding the drama, understanding the struggle of life, life's struggle. Beginning of the Tanya, when we introduced the ideas of the Tanya, we said that the Tanya teaches us that the struggle of life is not just about good and bad, right and wrong, but it's really about self and selflessness. And this is really where it gets to developing this idea of these two souls, these two drives, these two operating systems within us. And once we understand now who they are, how they function, how they operate. And then last week's talk, we spoke about where their headquarters are, whether they are based in our minds and our intellect. And from there, they control our emotions. Our emotions are developed based on our understanding of right and wrong, good and bad. Or is their headquarters in the heart, as it is with the animalistic soul, which means it's really based in our emotional drive. And if it's something which we have an emotional attachment to, then from there it spreads into our mind, into our intellect, try to rationalize and understand. So now we are at this moment where, okay, so I have these two drives, I have these two souls. Who is in control? How does that work? So the Tanya talks about this battle. There's this perpetual battle because these two souls, they don't live side by side in peace. Sometimes we wish they did. We wish there was this two-state solution. There's enough for both of you. You have this part and you have that part. But no, they are battling. There's a war going on. Every moment in our life, there's a war of who is going to take control over this person's body. Who is going to take control over their mind? Who will control their hearts? Who will control their thoughts, speech, and actions? And it's not necessarily who is going to be in total control forever, but who is going to be in control at this moment. Like I said, it's a perpetual battle, constantly battling and battling and battling. And the Tanya brings down from a incident that we have, you may be familiar with in the Torah, the story of Rebecca, Rivka, wife of Yitzchak, of Isaac. And she was pregnant after many years of praying for children. And finally, oh, Baruch Hashem, thank God, I'm pregnant and I'm about to have a little baby. You can only imagine her excitement. And then she's very confused. She gets extremely confused because when she walks past a synagogue, a yeshiva, people are sitting and studying Torah, suddenly she feels some kicking. She feels the baby is getting excited. And the mother gets excited. Look, what a pure baby I'm going to have, what a pure soul. The soul senses the holiness of the space and wants to come out. It gets excited. Wow, the mother is very excited. And then when she would walk through a house of worship of idol worship, again there's kicking, again there's excitement. Now the mother's very confused. What's with this baby? It's a confused child. Is this what they're going to be growing up as? A very confused little boy or little girl. So she goes to consult with the leaders of the generation, and they tell her, don't worry. You have twins within you. Yaakov and Esau. They're two different people. And one is excited about Torah study, and the other is excited about idol worship. And this calmed her down. Not that she was excited that she's having a child that will be an idol worshiper, but she was excited, or she was calm with the fact, knowing that it's not schizophrenic. It's not, what's the word? Bipolar. It's not one who has two opposite drives. It's two different children. And the same is true that Tanya says with each and every one of us. We are pregnant with twins. In other words, you may ask the same question to yourself sometimes. It says, who am I? Am I Meshuggah? Am I crazy? I'm excited about worldly pleasures. I get excited about materialistic pursuits. And then I also get excited about coming to a Tanya class, about doing a mitzvah, about helping another, doing something altruistic and selfless. Who am I? And the answer is, there are two within you. It's not one confused soul. It's two separate souls, two separate drives. And sometimes this drive is on the front border, is in control, and sometimes it's the other drive which is in control. There is a perpetual battle between these two twins, between these two drives, these two operating systems. Mac and PC are still fighting, right? It's two different ways, two different operating systems. It's like two kings fighting over one city, trying to take control. And it changes every day. My grandfather was from a place called Khust. Well, where is Khust? Well, today it's I think it's in Ukraine, but the truth is I'm not even sure where it is, because for many years every morning they will wake up. Okay, so has the border been changed? Are we in Czechoslovakia? Are we in Ukraine? Are we in Russia? Are we here? Are we in Poland? Right? It's because a lot of these border cities every day, depending on who won the last battle, well, now we're in this country. Now we're in that country. It changes every day. And the same is true with this battle within us. It changes every day, perhaps every moment. These two souls each want to express themselves fully in the body. We have one body with two souls, and each of these souls comes with an agenda. They have a wish list, and they want to be in control. They want to be in the driver's seat. And that is really the struggle of life. And that is the idea that is developed in the second half of chapter 9, telling us what is this wish list? What do they wish? What do they want? I'm coming to you with a proposal. I'm coming to you with demands. Well, what are your demands, right? When you're having a war, you have to understand, well, what is the goal? What do you want to achieve? And you can say, I was successful. I was victorious. Each of these souls have a list of an agenda of what is considered success. And the Tanya develops this beautifully. And the way the Tanya is structured in chapter 9, we go with a lengthy discussion of what is the agenda of the godly soul. And after going on with many lines discussing the godly soul's agenda, then we have a one-liner at the end. And the animalistic soul just wants the exact opposite. Whatever he wants, I want the opposite. It's like my children when they're fighting. Whatever one person says, no, I want the opposite, right? This is right. That's what the animalistic soul wants. So what does the godly soul want? So the godly soul, like we said, wants to have full control. Wants to have control over your mind. Wants to have control over your heart. And wants to have control over your garments of the soul, as we spoke in chapter 4, over your thought, over your speech, over your action. Like we said, they want full control, but it's every moment, every time we have an emotion, every time we think about something, every time we say some words, every time we do an action. What is the drive behind it? Where is it coming from? What is motivating us? Is it a motivation from the godly soul, or is it a motivation of the animalistic soul? It's a constant battle. It's a constant battle. So let's see something interesting that he writes about, starting with the emotions. The godly soul wants to take control over our heart, over our emotions. Now, you may say that we just have one set of emotions. Interestingly, and you may know this from the Shema. In the Shema, we say, "Ve'ahavta es Hashem Elokecha." You shall love God. B'chol levavcha, with all your heart. B'chol nafshecha, with all your soul. B'chol mo'odecha, with all your might. Now, getting technical with Hebrew grammar, levavcha means your heart. But the perhaps more correct way of saying your heart would be the word libcha, your heart. And the difference between levavcha and libcha in Hebrew is really the difference between one letter bet or two letters bet. Libcha is one B, right? Levavcha is two. And really in Hebrew, libcha, your heart. Why does the Torah say levavcha with two letters of bet? And the Talmud tells us that there's a hint over here that when we're saying that we should serve God or love God with all our heart, we are actually referring to both of our hearts. Well, I only have one heart. Well, we mentioned previously also that the animalistic soul is really stationed where? In the heart, in the left chamber of the heart, where there's energized blood. The godly soul, which is really stationed in our mind and spreads to the heart as well, but it's stationed in the right side of our heart. So our heart has both of these drives. So when we say that we should love God with our heart, it really refers to both souls, both the drives within our heart. In other words like this, the godly soul wants to take control of our emotions, but also wants to take control over the animalistic the emotions that stem from self. Those emotions, those feelings, the godly soul says, I want those as well. I want to tap in. I want to fill the space that it should overflow and also take control and transform these emotions. Let me give you an example. I think that could better explain this. A feeling of an animalistic soul is a feeling that something just feels good, just for self. I want it because it feels good. It looks good. I like it. Why? Just because it makes me feel better, right? That's animalistic drive, right? It's about self. It's not necessarily bad. It's just not altruistic. It's not godly. It's not selfless. That's what really the animalistic soul's drive is. Now, the animalistic drives are very easy to manipulate. It's very easy to change. So, for example, the animal soul's drive is, as a young child, let's say, to love ice cream. Now, you may say a young child, grown-ups love ice cream as well. Were you born loving ice cream? No. If you never tasted ice cream before, you don't love it. You go into a store and you look at the ice cream freezer. I don't have any temptation to buy ice cream because I don't know what it is. I never tasted it before. Do I like it? I don't know. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But the moment we taste it once, now, oh man, it's such a struggle. Should I buy it? Should I not buy it? It's not healthy, but I really want it, right? We want it. We want it. You know, there's some parents, including my wife, who tried at least unsuccessfully to keep nosh and sweets and candies away from the children as long as possible, because the moment they have their first candy, it's all over, right? But if they haven't tasted it yet, there's no temptation, there's no desire to have that candy. But once they taste it, oh, it's sweet. Oh, this is good. Now I'm going to have a tantrum if I don't get it, right? Now we want it. Meaning the animalistic soul, they're so easy to get to excite. It's good. It feels good. I want it. And now once I want it, that's it. It's hard to get it to get it out of my system. I could, but as we mature, our desires mature as well. Our animalistic desires, right? So it started off with candy, and as an adult, listen, I can't have 3 meals of candy a day, right? And go crazy. I don't have a desire to just eating candy all day, right? Maybe once in a while I have a little candy. I'm like, it's not even so excited, but I'll have a candy. But children can have one after another, right? But it changes over time, right? As a little baby, you're excited with Lego cars, but then eventually you want real cars, right? Lego cars are not exciting anymore. You're first excited with Monopoly money, now you want real money, right? So things change over time. In one area, by the way, where you see this so clearly is in the area of fashion. Fashion. Look back at your photos of yourself from 30 years ago, 20 years ago, and you say, really? People wore this those days? People thought it was nice? Look at my hairstyle. Look at my shoes. Look what I'm wearing. Right? Today, I'll never do that. And the truth is, when it comes to fashion, you don't have to go back 30 years. You go back to last year, 3 years ago. Really? People were wearing those glasses then? Really? Like, it's so ugly. And it's not only because we try to fit in. Well, if everyone is doing this, I also want to do that. Maybe as a teen, we have that. Just the peer pressure. I got to wear these shoes, even though I hate them and they're uncomfortable and they're so ugly, but this is the style, what everyone's doing now. I got to fit in. It really works in our brain that because this is the style, we truly see this as this is fashionable. This is nice. I like this. I like the way it looks. Next year, it's not that I'm not going to wear it anymore because it's out of style. In my mind, I'm truly convinced that it doesn't look good anymore. It looked good last year, but now it doesn't look good anymore. You know why? Because our feelings and our animalistic soul tells us it's not good anymore. And it truly, it's all in the eyes of the beholder. Those eyes change. We truly think, I'm not going to wear this, even if no one's around. It's ugly. Next year, it may be fashionable, and my mind's going to tell me it's beautiful. Last year, it was beautiful, but now it's not because it's not fashionable. So, in other words, it's so sensitive, and it's so easy to attract and to nurture change in our animalistic soul. And that's a weakness that the godly soul knows and it senses. And the godly soul says, it's so easy to train the animalistic soul to want what I want. What does the godly soul want? It wants God, it wants a relationship with God. Like King David says, Tamu uru'u, taste and see, ki toiv Hashem, that God is good. The godly soul is trying to convince the animalistic soul and says, just taste ice cream once, you'll love it. Taste godliness once, and you'll love it. Tries to take the animalistic soul, its drive, and says, come along on the ride with me. You'll see it's enjoyable. You'll see it's pleasurable. You'll enjoy it as well. And it tries to transform the entire heart, right? Both chambers of the heart, including the animalistic chamber, and tries to bring it along into its pleasurable desires in godly pursuits. And if and when the godly soul is successful at that, the love, the passion, the excitement The enthusiasm that we have to godly ideas is so much more powerful. The Tanya refers to it as ahava b'ta'anugim. It's like a pleasurable love, not just a love to God, but it's a pleasurable love. It's an intense love that we have that comes not only from our godly drive, but also from our animalistic soul's drive as well. That's what it means, where the godly soul wants to take full control of the heart, the entire heart, all the emotions of the heart. The same way we have an emotion to something physical, material. Oh, this is good, I want it. The godly soul says, I don't want that it should only be me trying to convince you to do a good deed, a selfless deed. I want it to be me and the animalistic soul, both together. We should realize that it's even more pleasurable to be selfless. That's what the godly soul wants. Full control over our emotions. And then the same is true with our thoughts, speech, and actions. Every time there's a thought, a conscious thought in our mind where we know that we're bringing up certain thoughts, we are actively thinking about something. The godly soul says, I want those thoughts to be motivated by me, by godly ideas, by altruistic ideas. Don't think negative thoughts about another person. Don't think thoughts that are going to bring you down. They're going to bring you to sadness, to depression, to anxiety. Think thoughts that are uplifting. Think positive thoughts. Think good, it will be good. Think good about another person. Think good about another situation. Those thoughts, every moment of thinking, active thinking, should be driven by our godly soul. Every time we open our mouth to speak, it should be words and speech driven by our godly soul. Whether it is literally studying Torah and prayer, but also mundane, should be holy words, holy positive speech about good about another person, not being judgmental, not gossiping, etc., etc. And the same is true with action. Every single act that we do should be driven by our godly soul. Even the mundane should be with the mission, with the purpose or oriented, etc., as we spoke in previous chapters. The point is, every single part of a person's body, person's function, should be fully controlled by the godly soul. Now, again, we're not saying that this is something easily achievable. What we're saying is, this is the agenda. This is what the godly soul wants to do. Every moment in our life, it wants full control over this space. But the space is also being occupied by another king, another leader, another driver. And that is the animalistic soul. And the animalistic soul, you know what it wants? The exact opposite. It wants to be fully in control of our emotions and of our thoughts and of our speech and our action. It says, don't be altruistic. Don't be godly. Think about self. It's more pleasurable. It's more enjoyable to just be lazy and just be selfish, and just do things because this is who you are. Don't try to change, right? The opposite of the godly soul is the animalistic soul. It's two drivers in the same driver's seat fighting over the wheel. Who is going to be in control? It's a constant battle. Some days the godly soul wins. Some days the animalistic soul wins. It's not only days, some moments. There could be a moment of a godly soul winning, and the next moment, the animalistic soul wins. That's the struggle. That's the struggle. And we start a few minutes later. If it's okay with you, we'll go over a few minutes. The last line of chapter 9 is a very powerful idea, almost easily skipped over because it doesn't really elaborate. He says, this struggle between the godly soul and the animalistic soul, it's really very tricky because it's not a real struggle. The struggle is only for show. In other words, like this. What is the true desire, the true goal of the animalistic soul? He gives a very interesting analogy, actually from the Zohar itself. And it's the analogy of what we call the harlot. The harlot analogy. What's the harlot analogy? You can imagine, what is the Zohar talking about, the harlot analogy? So the analogy, the gist of it is, we talk about a king and a prince. And the king obviously is raising the prince to be a fine, with refined character traits, a good human being. And the king wants to test the prince, not just to make it difficult for the prince, but really to bring out the best of the prince. So the king hires a harlot and tells the harlot, I want you to go to my son, the prince, and I want you to try whatever you can do to seduce him. That he should break, he should fail, he should sin with you. But the reason why I'm hiring you is because I want to see whether my son is strong enough to withstand this temptation. And I'm hoping he will be, but I want you to do a good job. I want you to do a good job and really try to tempt him into faking, into breaking and sinning. And the harlot has no choice. The harlot loves the king and loves the prince and wants the prince to overcome this temptation, but it has a job to do. And that, the Tanya says, is what the animalistic soul is as well. It's a soul. It's a godly soul. But its job is to be the harlot. And it's hoping, deep down, it's hoping and saying, please, please, Mendel, don't give in to me. I want you to be strong. I really, really want the godly soul to overcome, but I got to do my job and I got to do it right. I got to play. I'm a good player. I'm a good actor. I have to do it all the way. Otherwise, I don't get my paycheck. Right? This is why I was created. I was created to cause temptation, hoping you're going to be stronger than I am. So yes, we have this struggle. These two souls are fighting over us every moment, but ultimately, both have the same agenda. Listen to the godly soul. That's really the ultimate agenda, even though the animalistic soul, boy, is it doing a good job with playing the part of the harlot, really tempting us to think about self more than thinking about the cause and the purpose. So that's chapter 9. So this is where it's at. This is, now that we understand each side of the story, right? Two countries are fighting. You have Russia, you have Ukraine. Well, what's the goal? What does Russia want and what does Ukraine want? And now let's sit down to the table. Let's see if we can negotiate. Now we know what the godly soul wants, and we know what the animalistic soul wants. We know what their agendas are. Now let's figure out how we get through this struggle, and more importantly for ourselves, what success looks like. What's considered that, wow, we were successful? Us, the person who is kind of jumping between these two souls, trying to take control. What is success? What's the, there is a struggle, and how do we measure success? That will be in the next few chapters. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Rabbi. That was wonderful. That was wonderful. Good explanation. Really helps.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so 10 is